Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here. Okay, so I want to clean up my workspace. I have created a bazillion more scraps. I'm sure you can relate to that. And it's just, it's just getting to me. It's like, ah. So that's what we're doing on this video. So if you've got a bunch of scraps, get you a base. I'm using book pages that I have taken out of books. Those are going to be my base, and then I'm also going to use some of the napkin pieces, and I'm going to use scraps that I've been working on different things. I have a bunch of few different sizes, and I'm just going to glue them down. I'm going to make some collage pages, sheets, so that I don't know that I will use them this year. If these are, I'm using Christmas stuff, so this may be for next year. I'm fine with that. I want to get them out of the way. So that's what we're doing. So pause the video, get your stuff together, and get your glue. I'm going to use just a stick glue. When it gets to putting these on, I might go ahead and get some Mod Podge out to add these. We'll see. That's not going to be my first layer though. All right, so let's begin. All right. And I'm trying to think of what book this is from. I don't even remember. I have no clue. But I don't want to mess up my mat board. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bit of freezer paper underneath to catch any extra bits that go over. And so let's just, just chat a little bit, see how your day has been going, what you've been up to. Of course, I would love to hear all about what you're doing. And if I didn't have enough scraps, we've got scraps. All right, there's a good one. I'm just gonna start somewhere and just glue it down. I may, after the fact, I might stitch, but for now, all I'm doing is just gluing things down. Okay. So, are you ready? Are you ready for Christmas? How has your Christmas changed, or has it, from years previous to the pandemic that we're all still experiencing? If I'm being completely honest, I have to say I feel very, very fortunate that I feel like perhaps I have been blessed maybe more than I deserve, because I've not gotten sick and I don't have a loved one who's gotten sick. And so I don't know. I know there are some that have had to deal with so much, and I feel bad for people. I've had trials. Don't want anybody to think that my life has been like Primrose. It has not been. Oh. And lest you be thinking I don't, I cry regularly. I do. Okay, this is a book page. This is a leftover from making those envelopes and a video that a few videos back. So I just bring those on. And I don't know if I don't want to be like too picky, but we'll get a little bit of something going on here. I'm going to line that up, and I think I will go ahead and rip that with my decal ruler. All right. There's no anything. My brain is empty. Can you relate? Can you relate to an empty brain? There comes a point where in the world of creating that the muse runs to the neighbor's house or down the street or to the next town, or I don't know where they run, but they run away and they don't want to come back. Need to make special treats for them or something. Alrighty. I want to make sure that on my first whatever that I cover the book page. So that gives it a nice sturdiness. And I just have this little bit left. Oh, that side's prettier. Okay, yeah, let's use this side. And you know what? I'm not caring if I'm mixing pink and red together. I like them. So don't judge. Not that you would. You're amazing. I love you. You guys are awesome. All right. Let's put that right side up. Sometimes when I do collaging, I'm gonna wipe that off a little bit. Oh, I need to get a new rag to work with. That one's getting gross. Okay. So that, got a little spot here. And I probably will take this to my sewing machine, when I'm all done. But you certainly don't have to. So for those of you that are just not into that part of it, that is just fine and dandy. There is no need to stress. I think I'll just put some glue right here where I'm going to lay that down. We'll just put that in that little old corner. Okay, alrighty. Okay, now let's add some more stuff to make it pretty. Love the music paper. This, of course, is upside down. I like this the rough part there. Oh yeah, let's do that side. And do I want to, I think I want to make it where it's more, sometimes, as I was saying before, I didn't finish the thought. I do that sometimes. You've noticed that, haven't you? That I start a thought and then I'll stop and I'll move on to something else. And you're probably like, Rhonda, come back. And I apologize. I get that. People remind me that is not one of my strengths. But what I was going to explain is that at times I will collage so that you could have it here or upside down or whatever, and things are upside down and sideways and any which way so that you can use wherever. And I like that. But for this one, I'm going to try to keep it more, how how do you say that? You know what I mean, right? More directional, intentional, that like you would read a book. And we will just, all right. And I don't want to put like a bazillion, now I could, on this, I could absolutely use my, my other glues. Use what glue you're comfortable with, you guys. You use what speaks to you. I've got so many little bits and pieces everywhere that I just sometimes get overwhelmed by all of the extra things, you know. And so I'm trying to free that up a little bit by attacking it so it doesn't own me and keep bothering me and weighing on my mind and in the back of my head. Oh, you've got this. Oh, you need to do this. Oh. Well, no, just, I don't. I don't either. What have I got? I've got all kinds of, I loved using these pages from this old hymnal. They're really starting to kind of fall apart. The book is falling apart. But, oh, just, let's see, which do I want? All right, which? Come on, holler. All right, here we go. If you hollered for this to be the right side, then you didn't holler loud enough, because I did not hear you. Okay, let's just keep it going. I'm liking that. Oh, and I have this that I used on my envelopes for decoration that I had one extra. So we will just add that. We'll just pop that over here. What I'm doing now is trying to cozy this up a little bit so that it's just a little warmer. And I've got more of these scraps that came from that. I think I kind of want some of this edged, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to give myself permission to throw this little teeny thing away. Give yourself permission, guys. Give yourself permission. And you know what? I have heart failure, kind of, but if you want to throw the whole pile of your scraps away, I won't tell anybody, I promise. That'll just be our little secret, okay? You can tell me. All right, let's see. Well, there's a good spot. So I'm just, you know, this, I can't even begin to tell you how relaxing this is. I'm just like, oh, I'm playing with my friends. We are just doing pretties. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're just going to town. All right, so we have been busy doing, things for Christmas, as I'm sure most of you have been doing as well. We have packages, obviously, to send off because of COVID. But even without COVID, we would be sending packages, in the mail. So one of the things that I do traditionally, and over the years, the last few years, I've taught my husband how to make fudge. And he's gotten to where he does a really nice job. And some years he's done it all. Well, this year, yesterday, we were getting a start, and he wanted to start making the fudge. And I'm still busy working on Christmas stuff, so it was like, yeah, that'd be great. And I had some appointments that I had to go to. And when I came home, he's like, take a seat. I'm like, whoa, well, let me put my purse down. Okay. I'm thinking, oh no, there's some dire or something going on here, because he's not looking like a happy camper. And he begins to tell me the process of the fudge. And I won't tell you the whole story, guys, but it was sad. He had a sad fudge making experience and produced 2, not 1, but 2 batches of grainy, unedible fudge. Oh, he was feeling a little bit down. So, and of course, if I were the perfect wife, I would have just given him a hug and just been like, oh, sweetheart, it's wonderful, it's fine, la, 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 la. But no, what did I do? I said, oh, well, how do you want to pay for the mistake? How do you want to pay for it? Since you ruined the ingredients. Oh, wow. Anyway, I just teased him a little bit, and then, of course, I apologized and was nice. But, yeah, I mean, fudge is not cheap to make. It takes sugar and canned milk and chocolate chips and marshmallow cream and butter, and not margarine, butter, and real vanilla. So it takes expensive ingredients. But then what do you think, guys? How's this turning out? I'm kind of liking this. This is looking better. Now, there's still that natural bend. It has a tendency to want to bend there. So maybe I want to put something a little more defined right there. So, where was I? Okay, so we're trying to decide. I mean, oftentimes when we make something that's not like perfect to give away, it's good enough that, we can eat it or snack on it or whatever. Not that I'm not encouraging any of you to snack on fudge. Don't mistake. But this particular fudge was not even, good snackable stuff. It was really kind of good flavor, but really poor texture. And so we have missionaries in our church, and we feed them, try to keep them fed sometimes, and other people, I mean, not just us, but people that in the church. And they are young men, and so oftentimes they want you know, they will eat a lot of different things. You know how teenagers and that their stomachs are stronger, more sturdy, and if they love sweets, that kind of thing, they're not too bothered by, like, the texture is too grainy or whatever. And so I suggested, well, maybe contact, you know, the missionaries and see if they would like to try the fudge. If they don't mind the texture, that, you know, we've got some fudge we'll give to them. And I mentioned, because otherwise, I mean, we're just going to throw it out. And so he did. And I asked him later, I said, have you texted, you know, the missionaries? He's like, yeah, but I haven't received a message back. I haven't received, oh, isn't that nice? That's got to be its own something, doesn't it? Yeah, we got to save that. Okay. But they haven't replied. And I was thinking, that's kind of odd, because, you know, usually they're pretty good about. I said, well, what did you say? And he read me what he read me this text. And basically it said something to the effect that, do you want this fudge? It's not good enough to give away or to give as gifts, and if you don't want to, it's just going to go in the garbage. Like, oh, well, no wonder they didn't respond, honey. If I got a text like that, I'd be thinking like, well, thank you for thinking of us. We're akin to the garbage. And he did not mean it that way, because he loves them. It was just like, well, okie dokie. I think there's a little miscommunication going on there. So we're probably going to, and maybe he's already thrown it away. I don't know. But that I just got a chuckle out of that. He's so cute. I love him. He's so perfect for me. I'm such an imperfect person. And he's, you know, he's just good. He's just a good guy. I would wish for every woman that wants a good guy out there that they would have that, and for every man that wants a good woman that they would have that, and, you know, whatever you just want people to be happy, you know, whatever that looks like to you. Okay, this is freeing, giving myself permission to throw bigger things away. You know, little pieces that I don't always do. I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of loving it. Okay. Let's see. Maybe something right up there. So anyway, this morning, fudge story continuing. And this is an important part of the story, guys. The thermometer, the candy thermometer that I normally use, he accidentally put it in the dishwasher last year to wash it, and, you know, it doesn't do so well. So we needed to get another one. So we were out shopping yesterday morning to do that, and he came back with this metal, long, skinny metal with a round thing on top thermometer, and I said, that's not the thermometer. And he's like, no, this is deep fryer candy. This will be better. I want this. I said, honey, I want the one that, you know, we could get. And he's like, no, this will be good. This will be better. Okay. So then he told me the experience that he had with the thermometer. and it didn't read properly. The thermometer didn't read. He has another one because he does like to cook, and he's good. He has another instant thermometer thing that he put in there, and the temperature was way off, and so that's how it ended up getting grainy. It was cooked too long. And so then, of course, you know, sweet wife that I am, and never would I say, I told you so. I'm like, oh. So now we're going to get my thermometer that I suggested to you in the first place. Rub it in, rub it in. So he went and got the right thermometer, and he said, I'll make fudge. I said, no, I'm going to make the first batch. Let me do the first batch. If I mess it up, then we're just doomed this season, and maybe we won't be doing fudge. We just chuckled at it. So I made the first batch. Did you know that if you cook your fudge on a low heat, that it will get to a softball stage without ever boiling? I was not aware of that because obviously previously I have cooked it on more of a medium to medium high, just a little past medium heat, but this time I cooked it on a lower temperature, and it started looking fudgy, or how the mixture starts to look, but it wasn't boiling, and I decided that I better get the cold water, the softball test that you do, that I was taught by my mom years ago, and it was already softball stage. And so I went ahead and took it off the heat and proceeded, to do the fudge thing. And it turned out beautifully that way. But I have discovered, and I had forgotten this, you guys, I tell you, my memory is just getting horrible as I'm aging. Maybe that's why I'm putting so many things on video, so that if you watch my last video, you'll chuckle with me as I had to go back and rewatch a video to remember how I did something. But the sugar makes a difference also in your fudge that you use. And I found this out last year, that when you use cheap sugar, it has a tendency to be more granular, and you will still get perhaps a little bit of graininess in your fudge. And so this batch, it tastes delicious. It's smooth, but there's just the teeniest little hint of the grain here and there. And so this is one we don't mind snacking on because it tastes delicious and it's not bad. But it's also not quite up to what I'm used to making. So it's not going to go out to any family or friends. So if you're family or friends and you're listening to this, never fear. Grandma's going to get the right stuff for you. I just have to go get the C&H sugar instead of the cheap Walmart brand. Okay? All right. But it does make a difference. And the reason is, and I did a test on this last year. I don't know why I did, but I did. I found out that the C&H sugar is less grainy. It's ground up finer than the other. And I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm really liking this. What do you think? How's yours coming? Good? I hope so. And I've hardly even touched the surface So I think before I go to the next step and maybe add some other things on there, I think let's do another one. Have you got time? Do we have time? Do you have time to join me for another one of these? I don't know. Maybe I should just go ahead and call this one good. I don't want to keep this too terribly long, but I love visiting with you. I'm sorry. I know I get really, really chatty, but I like to visit, and I love people, and I love you. So, okay. I'm going to call this one good. I'm going to do some off camera, and in another video, I think I'll go ahead and add some of the other things to kind of break it up so the videos aren't quite so long. Anyway, I'm thinking about you. Know you are loved. Until next video, have a fabulous day. Bye now.